Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah stresses that the Sultanate's policy depends on dialogue in resolving and settling disputes. The Sultanate stresses on the centrality of the Palestinian issue and emphasizes its commitment to the convergence of views between the conflicting parties in Yemen, Syria and Libya. Official sources, the Minister of Foreign Affairs states that by the royal directives of His Majesty the Sultan, procedures were done to transfer a Canadian doctor from Tehran to Muscat. And NATO's Parliamentary Assembly delegation praises the Sultanate's role under the leadership of His Majesty the Sultan in supporting regional stability and instilling international peace. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here we present to you the details of tonight's news bulletin. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, delivered the Sultanate speech before the United Nations General Assembly in New York.
We would like to record our appreciation to His Excellency the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, for his relentless efforts over the past 10 years to serve the shared interests of the international community and to improve the work of the organization and its organs up to the expectations of the member states. We in the Sultanate of Oman continue to believe that every problem has its own solution if interests converge and if the political will exists, and if concerted efforts are exerted. This is true because people, by nature, tend to love peace and incline towards understanding and peaceful coexistence, which serve the interests of all parties based on the rule that says, there should be neither harming nor reciprocating harm. Hence, our country has been one of the states that adopted the policy of dialogue, negotiation, and conciliation to settle disputes by peaceful means based on the provisions of Chapter 6 of the United Nations Charter, norms and recollections of human heritage. Therefore, thanks to the peace diplomacy adopted by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said, Sultan of Oman, our country has managed to establish friendly relations and cooperation with the grace of God with all countries of the world. We cannot also miss this opportunity to emphasize the centrality of the Palestinian issue for the stability in the Middle East region. Without reaching a comprehensive and just solution to this issue, it would be difficult to see normal relations between the states and peoples of the region in a way that would boost mutual confidence and coexistence. Despite the efforts of the international community and the various initiatives to help the Palestinians and the Israelis to reach an agreement on a roadmap that would look after the interests of both parties, all efforts failed to achieve the desired outcome. Therefore, we would like to renew our call to the international community to intensify efforts through a new perspective that would enable the concerned parties to reach a comprehensive and just settlement that would end this long and old conflict. We would also like to express our appreciation to the United Nations and the special envoys of the Secretary General for their efforts to reach peaceful settlements to crises in a number of states in the Middle East, particularly the Syrian Arab Republic, the Republic of Yemen, and Libya. But however, we should note that the situations in these states have suffered serious setbacks which threaten international peace and security. Believing in the importance of adhering to the principle of dialogue to resolving disputes by peaceful means, and since the onset of the crises in the three states, the Sultanate of Oman has sought with the parties concerned to reconcile points of view and to encourage them to reject differences and resume negotiation. The Sultanate, in coordination with the United Nations, has hosted several meetings in that vein. In closing, we cannot but emphasize the need for the spirit of joint international action, which makes it incumbent upon all of us to rid ourselves of the negative aspects of the past and to concentrate on the positive elements of the future. Our goal should be to develop relations, enhance cooperation, deepen interests between states and peoples, and settle differences through dialogue based on the principles and provisions of the United Nations Charter and international law and international norms. By so doing, the United Nations will remain the beacon of peace for all states. Thank you, and may the peace of God be upon you.
That was His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi Abdullah in the United Nations General Assembly. And official sources say the Minister of Foreign Affairs stated that by the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos to fulfill the request of the Canadian government to help free Dr. Homa Hotfar, detained in Iran, the authorities concerned in the Sultanate communicated with the government of Iran to free the Canadian doctor, and procedures were done to transfer her today from Tehran to Muscat on board a plane affiliated to Royal Air Force of Oman to facilitate her return to Canada. The Sultanate expresses its appreciation to the Islamic Republic of Iran to contribute by this step for more coordination and to get relations back to normalcy between Iran and Canada. His Excellency Orfanda Ulrika, head of the delegation of NATO Parliamentary Assembly, praised the wise foreign policy carried out by the Sultan with the leadership of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos in supporting regional stability and in instilling international peace. This came while His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud al-Mandhari, Chairman of the State Council, received the NATO delegation currently visiting the Sultanate. During the meeting, they reviewed parliamentary cooperation horizons and means of supporting and developing them. The meeting also discussed a number of regional and international issues of common concern. His Excellency Engineer Mohammed bin Abu Bakr al-Ghassani, Deputy Chairman of the Shura Council, also received the delegation of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly. The meeting discussed the role of parliamentary diplomacy in enhancing relationships between countries and instill friendship between the peoples, in addition to intensify values of tolerance and respect. His Excellency Orfanda Ulrika, head of NATO delegation, praised the pivotal and positive role of the Sultanate in solving a number of international issues in the region. The delegation of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly visited the National Museum. The delegation toured the halls of the museum, which highlight Omani civilization in all historical epochs through the museum's context and exhibits. The visitors expressed their admiration of the Sultanate's architecture and heritage. With the participation of 15 governmental bodies, works of the training program titled Modern Techniques for Developing and Motivating Individuals started in the Governorate of Muscat. It was organized by Injaz for Development Institutions in cooperation with the Ministry of Civil Service. It came to qualify human resources. They are considered the main pillar of development. The program is considered a modern system and approach that presents new solutions and techniques in scientific and practical ways. It also focused on values related to qualification and flexibility, quality and perfection, as well as practical training of all the participants from the public and private sectors. The program also aimed to identify the individual's needs of development in addition to learning motivational techniques. The event was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service. With the aim to enhance the commercial partnership between the Sultanate and Iran, an agreement to establish Iranian market in the Wilaya of Barka in the Governorate of South al-Batina, a ceremony was held in the Iranian capital, Tehran, in the sideline of the Omani Products Exhibition OPEX 2016. The agreement represented in establishing a commercial market on 40,000 meters using the design of the Iranian traditional markets, and the project is expected to be opened in the middle of the first quarter of 2018. It's worth mentioning that the Omani Products Exhibition OPEX 2016 recorded this year a significant presence from companies representing various sectors such as natural resources, metals, wooden products, furniture and foodstuffs. The 20th International Conference on ISO and TQM started in the University of Buraymi with the participation of 16 countries from around the world. The event, which witnessed participation from global specialists, came to introduce the significance of quality and ways to achieve it in fields related to education, health, administration, economy and other sectors that focus on development. The three-day conference will include a number of work papers on various subjects related to total quality management as well as ISO and others, so as to enrich the knowledge of the government officials, company owners and the students. The Ministry of Sports Affairs revealed today details of fourth version of Youth Creation Competition 2016-2017. The competition worked on developing youth business in clubs and developing their abilities in various cultural, social and sports activities. The competition divided into two categories. The first category for youth from 10 years to 15 years, while the second category for youths from 16 years to 30 years for both genders. The competition will be in three main phases: the first stage at the sports clubs, the second stage at the governorate, and the third stage will be at the Sultanate level, started in the 1st of October until 31st of upcoming March. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. The Royal Oman Police unveils details of the 5th Traffic Safety Exhibition in a press conference at the Traffic Safety Institute. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The National Committee of following up the implementation the United Nations Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women CEDAW held its second meeting of the year. Members of the committee, who represent various government and public units in the Sultanate, discussed several topics listed on the meeting's agenda related to the prerogatives of the committee, besides taking the necessary decisions and recommendations on their regards. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Kalbani, Minister of Social Development. The Information Technology Authority and Raft Fund signed a memorandum of understanding for developing electronic services at the Sanad centers affiliated to Raft Fund within its plan to develop sustainable Sanad services centers. The agreement included partnership between Raft Fund and Information Technology Authority in preparing plans of e-services developments at Sanad centers and include them with other portals to provide e-governmental services. The agreement will work also to upgrade existing services and adding other services to more than 600 Sanad centers at various governorates in the Sultanate, which will facilitate with e-services for various segments of the society. Highlighting the scientific and intellectual contributions of the Sheikh Jaid bin Khamis Al Kharousi were the centers of the discussions of the seminar Civilized Horizons from the Life of the Sheikh. The seminar is organized by Oman Student Centers of Sultan Qaboos University in cooperation with the Office of Iftah in the Ministry of Endowments and Religious Affairs. The event was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Abdul Malik bin Abdullah Al Khalili, Minister of Justice. Sheikh Jaid was one of the leading Muslim scholars who published a number of books and researches on various scientific, social, fiqh, sharia, sciences and linguistics works. The seminar was accompanied by an exhibition that included all the books, researches, manuscripts and letters written by this Omani Muslim scholar. His books reflected cultural and civilized communications between Oman and the outside through his correspondence with non-Omani Muslim scholars. The activities of the cultural competition on the level of units and battalions of Royal Army of Oman were concluded today at the transportation camp of Sultan's Armed Forces. The competition included a number of various cultural and artistic aspects and presentations stages and activities of the competition, in addition to detailing of the number of military and training sites affiliated to Royal Army of Oman. At the end of the event, Major General Matar bin Salim Al-Blushi, commander of the Royal Army of Oman, chief guest, distributed the awards to the winners. The Royal Oman Police held a press conference at the Traffic Safety Institute in the Governorate of Muscat to unveil details of the 5th Traffic Safety Exhibition. The exhibition is scheduled to be held at Oman International Exhibition Centers during October 18th to 20th. Traffic Safety Exhibition is organized by Royal Oman Police in conjunction with the Oman Expo Company, with participation of more than 80 governmental and private units, as well as non-governmental organizations from all over the Sultanate. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with cloud accumulation and scattered rainfall over the Hajar Mountains. Winds will be northeasterly light to moderate over the coast of Sea of Oman, while on the rest of the coast it will be southeasterly to southerly light to moderate. Seas will be moderate along the coast of Arabian Sea with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. Rest of the coast it will be slight to moderate with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah stresses that the Sultanate's policy depends on dialogue in resolving and settling disputes. The Sultanate stresses on the centrality of the Palestinian issue and emphasizes its commitment to the convergence of views between the conflicting parties in Yemen, Syria and Libya. And official sources at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs states said that by the royal directives of His Majesty the Sultan, procedures were done to transfer a Canadian doctor from Tehran to Muscat. And NATO's Parliamentary Assembly delegation praises the Sultanate's role under the leadership of His Majesty the Sultan in supporting regional stability and instilling international peace. With that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening and a very good night.